Hello and welcome to a Project Love podcast show. And today's show is for our friends at Frame, the place to go if you want to get fit and have fun in the process. So today we're going to be talking about how to fill your summer with love. We want you to look back at the end of summer and breathe a happy sigh as memories of happy moments filled with love pop into your head. So let's make sure we create the space for those moments of love to happen. Here are 10 suggestions we have of how you could weave more moments of love into your life this summer. All right, so I'm going to kick off, Vicky, with my first one. So my suggestion is take yourself for a breakfast date. So we're really into this anyway. We talk about it a lot, taking yourself off for dates with yourself, otherwise known as master dating. But instead of taking yourself out for, a date to the cinema on your own, or taking yourself off to an art gallery for a day, how about just taking yourself out for breakfast? So choosing a cafe that you love, maybe one on the way to work, and actually just treat yourself to a really good breakfast. So it could be, if you want, it could be a proper fry-up. Why not? Maybe a healthy fry-up, or like a big bowl of Greek yogurt and muesli and a nice latte, and kind of just feast out on breakfast. It's a great way to start your day anyway. And the whole point of taking yourself out on dates, whether it's a breakfast date or any other kind of date, is that it's about spending quality time with you. Taking a moment out of your day, taking a moment out of your summer to actually focus your attention on you and, treat yourself to something that perhaps normally you'd only do with a friend or with a loved one. For once, be the friend, be the loved one that you're spending time with.
Yeah, it's making that same effort that you would if you had a breakfast date with another person.
Yeah.
But turning that in on yourself.
Yum.
So the next one, and we both love this one, it's getting out in nature, getting out into the park, planning a picnic with a great summer playlist, a juicy book and your lover or a bunch of friends. You could even borrow a dog from borrowmydoggy.com. My dog is actually on there.
My dog is available for borrowing, Vicky says.
Treat yourself to some delicious food for the picnic. You could either make it yourself if you're feeling up for it, or you could go to, well, I'm a big fan of Waitrose or M&S with those little picky kind of buffet style treats. Whatever a treat is to you, just go and really go all out and buy yourself really tasty, nourishing, delicious food and drink. And I think the process of planning this, like gathering some friends together and having that moment in time to celebrate summer and get everyone together and listen to music and just hang out with the people that you love.
Yeah, and it's about enjoying those timeless moments, isn't it? Which I think summer's always a great one for that, and being outdoors and hanging out with friends, enjoying food, the simple stuff in life.
Yeah, and you could be one of those groups of people that play games in the park. I usually walk past them with the dog thinking, I should arrange something like that. They're playing cricket or rounders, and it's a really nice scene, isn't it? Seeing your friends playing something like that, and it kind of really takes you back to like being at school or playing on the weekends as a child.
Yeah, and I think I would just add in there, it's important, if you want to have a summer of love, you want to look back and see those moments, you do kind of have to make an effort to actually arrange for these things and create the time for it. Otherwise, summer can rush by in a sort of haze of pims. Yeah. And, the many, many things you were doing and, different events you were going to. But it's really important to actually block in some time for just hanging out with the people you love, doing those sort of like lovely, timeless, lying around in the grass kind of things. Oh, I can't wait.
I know. This is making us actually map out our whole summer.
So the next one is actually inspired by Sarah from our Love Tribes. Love Tribes is our Facebook group, and if you want to join, in fact, we've popped the URL into this track on SoundCloud. So Sarah came up with an idea the other day of going on lady dates. So she and a girlfriend, one of her best friends, had taken themselves out for a day and treated themselves to all sorts of gorgeous things that you would normally do with a romantic partner. So they went for a really gorgeous stroll, romantic stroll along the South Bank, talking about life. They had ice creams. I don't know, I'm just imagining now, maybe they bought each other balloons. I don't know why. Is that what you do on dates? Maybe it is. But just doing slightly out of the ordinary things that you would normally only do on a kind of special romantic occasion, doing it for you and your best friend. So yeah, give that one a go.
So the next one is yoga, but in an interesting location. So there's loads of these things popping up now. You could go do yoga in Dalston Roof Park. You could actually do it up the Shard now as well.
Yeah,
so
which is one of the tallest buildings in London, for those of you who don't know it.
You could climb a hill and do yoga there. You could go to Hampstead Heath if you're in London.
You could do yoga on a paddleboard.
Yes, that could be quite a challenge actually. Where can you do yoga? What's the most interesting place that you could do it?
I like it.
You could go to another park in London with an amazing view, is Primrose Hill. You could go to the beach. You could do yoga in front of the sea. All sorts of places. So it's doing something that you're probably used to doing, but just challenging yourself to try an interesting location or doing yoga with a view.
Okay, so the next one is taking yourself back to your childhood and doing something that you used to do as a kid. I love this one. When we were coming up with ideas of what to give you for this podcast, we both came up with this idea. It was obviously a very strong one. So actually, Vicky, recently, what did you do that reminded you, brought you back to being a child and unleashed that inner child?
So we were having a conversation on the tube the other day about connecting with our inner child, as you do. And Selena said to me, what kind of things did you really love doing as a child? And what came to me was this memory of my mum reading Roald Dahl, The Twits, to me. And she used to read it to me before bed every night. And Selena was like, well, why don't you just buy the Twits? And I was like, is that a bit lame, like buying a children's book? But actually, when I thought about it, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I bought it on Amazon and it came the other day. So as a little date with myself, I'm going to take the Twits and go and read it in the sunshine in the park. Aww. And it's really, I can imagine just reading it is really going to take me back to that really special moment of my mum reading it to me as a child, which I absolutely loved.
Oh, I love it. It's so powerful doing the kind of stuff that you used to do as kids, whether it's reading the Twits, reading a book that you used to read, or something like finger painting, or running really fast down hills, or, splashing around in puddles. Just really childlike pleasures and joys which you haven't allowed yourself because, well, now I have to, behave like an adult and I couldn't possibly find that fun. Yeah. And actually what it does, it has a way of connecting you to the real kind of essence of who you are and your playfulness and your childlikeness, and there's so much energy and creativity in that. It's a really good exercise to really bring you to life, and I think you'd be surprised, but that will probably be one of the lasting memories of your summer if you do that. Yeah. So love that one.
So the next one is to take yourself on a date again, but to an open-air cinema. Now, if you've ever been on a date with yourself at the cinema, you'll know how liberating it is.
It's so good.
And I actually only did this for the first time, I think it was end of last year, and I absolutely loved it. I felt giddy with excitement. I got there, got myself a glass of red wine, and brought my own sweets with me, which made me feel quite rebellious anyway. I brought a little blanket with me, and I got cozy down in the cinema, and there's a girl next to me actually that was also on her own who also looked equally as happy. And I just sat there with my wine. And I just felt so pleased with myself that I'd chosen this film exactly what I wanted to see. I didn't need to run it past anyone and, kind of compromise at a film that maybe I, was kind of average. This is a film that I absolutely loved and really wanted to see. And just choosing that for me was quite a liberating thing. And I love the whole process of it. But doing it open air this summer,
even better.
Somerset House do some great ones where they show old classics like Indiana Jones and things like that, like adventure films. Again, connecting with your kind of inner child on that one. And getting out there and just watching a film like that in the sunshine, like feeling the sun in your skin. It makes me want to do it.
And what's great about going to open air cinema is that is the kind of thing people do. It's like a bit of a special treat. Yeah. And you do normally go with a partner, with a friend, or with a group of friends. And so when you're taking just you, it makes it feel even more special. Like you say, a little bit rebellious. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Love it. So the next one is treat yourself to an afternoon of taking photos of people, places and things you love in the sunshine. So one of the great things about going out and sort of deliberately setting time to take photos, particularly things of the things that you love, is it's a really good mindfulness tool, and it gets you really present. Yeah. And there's a lot of talk about like, we're spending all our time and taking photos of the things we're experiencing rather than experiencing them, which can be the case, but actually you can also use taking photos as a really powerful tool to get really present and to really observe the things that are around you and look at them in a way that perhaps you wouldn't normally if you were just kind of walking past them. Yeah. So if you really take an afternoon and go, right, this afternoon, whether you're going out with friends to barbecue or whether you're taking yourself off to walk around, a favourite part of where you live or perhaps a place you've never been to before, and just spend the time taking photos and really getting present to the things around you and the people around you, and kind of zooming in on the things that you really love and why, and just enjoying being there in the moment, because it is in the present that love exists, and only in the present. And then afterwards have a look through and choose some of the favourite photos that you've taken, develop them and put them up in your home.
Yeah.
I like that.
Lovely. So the next one is to grab a friend and go on a cycling adventure. So it could be heading off somewhere that you've never been to before, or you could cycle around the places that you love the most where you live.
Oh, I once did that. I did it years ago. I went with a friend, took our bikes, jumped on a bus to Oxford, so got out of the city and into the countryside. Amazing. And cycled all around Oxford for the day, all around like the river, and saw beautiful buildings, and neither of us have ever really kind of gone around there before. It was a brilliant way to see it on a bike.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, getting out of the place where you live and just exploring a whole new place entirely.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is one that Vicky and I are definitely going to do ourselves this summer, and that is to find an outdoor pool or natural pool to go and have a swim and sunbathe in. So if you're in London, there are actually quite a lot. There are Lidos all over London, and there are, of course, the natural pools in Hampstead Heath. If you're not in London, if you're elsewhere, check out what's around you. Maybe there's the sea, maybe there's a river. I was going to say maybe the canal, but I don't think I would suggest swimming the canals of London or the Thames.
We would definitely not recommend that.
But I would definitely on my list is going to Hampstead Heath and swimming in the ladies' lake, I'm going to call it. I don't think that's the name, but definitely on a sunny day going to go and do that.
So the last one is a bit of a challenge to you. It is to start your mornings with love this summer. So there are a whole range of things that you could do, and some examples from us and some things that we love to do in the mornings is meditation, a little bit, even just 10 minutes of meditation to start the day. You could do 10 minutes of journaling, writing little notes to yourself, writing about how you want your day to go that day. Writing about what you're grateful for. You could do a little dance in your bedroom. You could stick on a Beyonce tune, and like shake your booty, get in the spirit of things.
Love it.
You could obviously do a morning frame class as well. They've got a huge array of fun classes that you can do in the mornings. One of them is called Breakfast Bar, and it's actually, if you're in London, it's actually in Regent's Canal, and it's their bar class that they usually do, but it's outside. So that looks like a really good one that'd be great to check out. And you can do it before work, so I think it starts at 7:30. So just doing something fun, just something different, something that will really fill you with love in that morning part of the day, so that the rest of your day, whether you're going to work, whether you're going to an office, whether you're going to start your day in a cafe, wherever you're going, you've started that day with intention and love for yourself.
Oh, I love that. So that is the last of our 10 tips on how to fill your summer with love. If you enjoyed today's podcast and you want to hear more from us, then come and visit us over at loveprojectlove.com for more podcasts and posts and all sorts of delicious things like that. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.